Welcome to the Bambushi Happy Hour. Let's talk Big Brother season 27. Today is August 19th, and today is day number 43 in the Big Brother house. I am Peju Bambushi Roethlisberger, and thank you guys for tuning in. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel right here, right now, guys. All right. Before we begin, we are going to be doing what we all love is power rankings, guys. That's right, power rankings. So we have our week 6 power rankings, and we want to start things off by letting everyone know just a brief update. Rachel Riley is the head of household for this week on the block. We have Vince, we have Morgan, and we have Mickey. Lauren won the power of veto, took off her buddy Vince, and now the replacement nominee is Riley. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Riley is the replacement nominee. Maybe he can go home. Just maybe. Okay. Anyway, guys, so let me remind you all how we do our power rankings. We have 3 different tiers, and the bottom tier is the hooch tier, and that means like you're actively doing bull crap to sabotage your game and even your allies' games. The premium tier is, well, you're not really doing anything good or bad, or if you're doing some bad stuff, the good that you're doing outweighs, well, not outweighs, kind of evens itself out. And then we have the top shelf, which I will be honest with you guys, and full disclosure, I have not seen really any top shelf gameplay so far in Big Brother season 27. But that is when you are actively working to do things that benefit your game, and you may even be doing some things to help your allies' games, not effing up your game and throwing your allies on the block. That's a whole nother story. All right. So, guys, let's try to do this in some type of order. Let's maybe go alphabetical order. Ashley. Now, Ashley, I like my girl Ashley, but I'm gonna have to give Ashley a hooch. Now, she doesn't get a high hooch. Like her hooch behavior isn't the hoochie-fitis, okay? It is more on the low spectrum of hooch because she started off this week. I was really worried about her because she was pushing back so hard on the nominations, in particular Mickey. But then she softened up her approach and realized, wait a minute, Mickey is doing too much. Okay, maybe I shouldn't push back so hard. So I have to give her credit for that. But now Riley is on the block. And if Riley was on the block and Catherine was on the block and Lauren was on the block, that's fine. But Riley is on the block and we have Mickey and Morgan, and I don't know that that's really that great for her game. So I'm a little bit worried, because Ashley is always a little bit messy. She's not a terrible BB player, but she's all over the place. So I still have to give her a hooch, but she's barely a hooch. She's closer to premium than hooch. That makes sense. Okay, moving on to Ava. Now, Ava will probably get a low premium for me. Not that I think that she's a much superior player to Ashley, but I think that Ava has a very low threat level right now. And I think she has decent reads on the game, but she just isn't really doing anything. So she needs to make moves in the house and just not kind of be seen as a person that gets dragged along. So don't think she's a bad player, but need to see more from her before we get to a point where they're just going to use her as a number. So she's a low premium for me this week. Okay. Who do we have next? Catherine. Okay. Catherine is going to get a high hooch from me. Now, when I say high hooch, that is good in the hooch scale, bad overall in the game. Kind of like with Ashley. I think that Catherine has good reads on the game. I just think that she's so attached to Riley, it's just draining all of her energy and bringing her down, because she actually was told, she gave Lauren, good advice for Catherine's game, at least, to not use the power of veto, because guess what? When we use the power of veto, guess who went up? Her number one ally, Riley. And I don't know why he's anyone's number one ally. Oh, okay. Let me stop. Let me stop. Anywho, I think Catherine has like a good sense of the game. I just think that she's attached to Riley, and I think is hindering her game. But she's not in the best position right now. She's not in the worst, but definitely not a great position, especially with her man being on the block and he can go home. He probably won't go home, but he could go home. So I'm going to give Catherine a high hooch. Next, we have Keanu, who is not on the block, who is perpetually on the block, doesn't seem to know how to play this game at all. He is just a straight up hooch. Okay. He really and truly is. He's in the middle of the bottom tier for me. And he would be on the bottom of the bottom tier for me if he was on the block, but he's not on the block. You know, he is aligned with Rachel, but he doesn't believe Rachel. I don't know if he just doesn't believe women. I don't know, but he loves Riley and Riley can't stand Keanu and he doesn't get it. And when people act like that, when no matter what someone is telling you and they're trying to reason with you and trying to do help you out in the game and you give them their behind the kiss, there's no hope for Keanu. I want to like Keanu, but he just doesn't seem to get it. Maybe he'll surprise me, but right now he's a straight up hooch. Okay, Kelly, another straight up hooch, because Kelly is just actively doing things to mess up her game, and she would get a bottom of the barrel hooch if she was on the block, but somehow or another they managed not to put her on the block, and Rachel just doesn't see, and maybe she'll see now. Kelly hates her. Kelly wants you gone, Rachel. She hates your guts. She hates your guts. Rachel did not put you on the block, Kelly, and you were mad at Rachel for not putting you on the block and putting up Riley instead. A hooch. Straight up hooch. Lauren. Now, Lauren's game is really hard to read because Lauren seems like a sweet, sweet person, but Lauren is just too timid, too shy, too scared. I understand she's 22, but we've had people who were 21 and won this show, and we've had people who were 22 and they're not shy and they don't, they'll let you know how they feel. I just worry about her. Like MJ was 22 last year and she was not meek. She was not timid. Lauren, you can't make a decision. It's just so uncomfortable watching her make a decision. With that being said, her decisions that she does finally make aren't bad for her. Having Riley up here is probably not the greatest thing in the world because it is her ally, but I feel like people aren't coming for Lauren, if that makes any sense. And she did make sure that she saved her number one ally, Vince. So she's going to get a low premium for me. Let me know, guys, what you think about that one. That one I'm still kind of undecided. Mickey, low hooch. I mean, Mickey started off playing this game so well. I thought she had good strategy. She was well liked. She had her hands, all over the house. Now people don't trust her. She turns against her allies. She is very forceful with, some of her moves, and it just seems very intimidating and not intimidating in a good way. I'm sorry, but she is a low, low, low hooch. Morgan. Also liked Morgan from the beginning, but Morgan fell in love with Zach. Morgan just did not have, great reads as the competition continued, getting rid of Jimmy, like all of these things that she just cannot see. She's very emotional. She's just kind of like all over the place. She needs to kind of like hone it in a little bit, chill. She can go home. She's on the block and she can very much go home. So I'm going to have to give you a low hooch, Morgan. We'll see. We'll see if you manage to get yourself off this. It'll be funny if you go home before the damn wall that you've been trying to, participate in. Okay. Rachel. Rachel had good nominees, initial nominees, but now that the power of veto has been used and Rachel decided to nominate Riley, not good. She should have nominated Kelly, not Riley. Even though I want Riley gone, Riley wasn't going to probably come after Rachel right away. If he survives this week, he's going to come right after her. Kelly, as we know, was always going to come after Rachel. So, initial nominees, high premium, but because the power veto was used and she chose to put up Riley, I'm going to have to give you a low premium. All right. Next, we have Riley Lohooch. Riley, I don't understand how people in the house are so misted by Riley, how they just think that he's just like the best thing in the world. He always seemed creepy to me, and I try not to judge a book by its cover, but to me, he has turned out to be what I thought he was, which is not good, just not good quality player. And I don't want to say anything about this man because I don't know him personally, but the things that we've seen online about him aren't great. And the way that he has treated Catherine, the way he talks to her, and the way that he talked to Mickey, and just the language that he uses. Like, cursing is fine, but you don't curse at people. You don't particularly curse at women and talk down to them like that. Just a low hooch. And he has no game. He actively participated in Lauren putting him on the block, not realizing that, oh, I need you to use the veto. Use the veto. Let Rachel show her hand. Well, she showed her hand, and her hand says she wants you out. Low hooch. Vince. Okay. Vince, for me, has to get a premium this week. Vince, we're in a game where not a lot of people play the game well, and this is supposed to be a super fan, and he didn't even know about Rachel's season. Lauren had to tell him all about Rachel's season. So I don't know what type of super fan you are of Big Brother when you don't really know who Rachel Riley is. That's just weird to me. Very weird. You don't have to know every freaking season, but you should know, first of all, you should know all of the winners, and you should know the iconic ones who have played multiple times. This is Rachel's third time playing. And she won. Okay. Anyway, so that's my issue. One of the issues with Vince. Vince is also a snake. The way he like slithers around the house. And this is all to do with their game, guys. I'm not talking about anybody's personal business except maybe Riley, because of alleged personal business, because we don't really know. But Vince, the way he operates in the game, he he isn't very honest. He lies to everyone. He is like running things behind the scene. But he managed to get himself off the block, and he barely got Lauren to use the power veto, but she used it on him. And that means he was able to manipulate her. So I'm going to give him a premium. Okay. And finally, Will. Will's a hard one too. Will is okay. I like Will a lot. He's not doing much, but he's not doing anything wrong. So he's a premium, but he's going to have to start making moves. He's going to have to start to be able to set himself up in a position where he could win competitions, make moves, comment on things, and kind of put some action behind his words. Don't agree with everything and everybody. But he's good. He's in a good spot right now. But he's not doing anything. So he's a premium. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see. Mostly everybody was a hooch this week. We had a couple of people that were premiums. And I think the person that right now that is playing the best game, even though I don't like the game that they're playing, is Vince. Now, Vince goes up and down, round and round, on the block, off the block, blah, 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 blah. But right now, this week that he was able to successfully get himself off the block, I have to say he played the best game. unfortunately. Who's playing the worst game? There's so many people playing really, really, really bad games. I don't even know who to give the crown to because Riley is terrible, Kelly is terrible, Mickey and Morgan are terrible. Although Morgan is trying to be a little bit more quiet, but probably when I go look at the feeds, she's probably will probably be doing something cuckoo too. So I don't know. But I want to know what you guys thought about my rankings. Who would you like to see go home? As always, I will be back on Thursday after the episode to talk about who left. And also check out my regular podcast, The Bambushi Happy Hour, which I host with my mom. It comes out every Thursday and Sunday. It is on every platform that you can think of. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for continuing to support the Bambushi Happy Hour. Let's talk Big Brother. I'll be back soon. Bye.
It'll get you drunk.